049 Fox November, turn left heading 090, descend 4000.
Okay, flaps 15, non-standard.
Flaps 15.
090, 4000.
And as briefed, we will be fully configured. Speed 180 again.
356, descend 4000 feet, QNH 1014.
Descend 4000 feet, 1014.
Okay, next is Fox Delta 268.
Checked.
After that we can descend down to
1550.
1550 feet.
And we are cleared view our approach.
Yes.
22 right, Bravo.
Yeah. We keep it in LNAV VNAV. Gear down.
Gear?
Yes, because after this we will descend.
And next also 1500 feet, 1500 feet.
Yeah. After that we will go down to 1000 feet.
Checked.
Good evening, Norwegian 6, Lima Kilo, established view to right, Bravo.
Bonsoir, Norwegian 6, Lima Kilo, report short final runway 22 right, wind 230 degrees, 140.
Report short final, Norwegian 6.
Fox Hotel Mike Echo, contactez 4 118 625. Ah pardon, restez avec moi. Rappelez-moi sur 120.
Okay, flaps 30.
Speed jets.
Sur 120, 85.
Flap 30. And altimeter is jets. And you're heading?
Bravo India avec le
Sorry,
121.7, bonsoir.
21.7, Bravo India.
All the way.
Fox Hotel Mike Echo, passe Sierra Bravo en direction Sierra Alpha.
Reçu. Vous maintenez 500 finalement?
Flap 30 sets.
Check landing checklist.
Landing checklist, so cabin call is given. Landing checklist is completed.
Check speed 144.
Checked. Landing checklist completed.
Thank you.
Right, wind 230 degrees, 1.
Landing checklist is complete.
Thank you.
Right, BS 755.
Okay, passing this position, missed approach point. I'll go flight level change for 1000 feet.
Check.
La lame de gauche est dégagée, inspectée, un escalier de Seiko 2.
And then when I'm on the final, I would like you to set the go-around altitude 3000 feet.
Je rappellerai prête pour la Mike et je suis en mode
No,
2.
until 50 feet we keep them on.
Okay.
Maintien hôtel 2. Maintien hôtel 2, Seiko 2. Silva, also Jet Charlie, fully ready?
No, negative. We need a few minutes more. I will advise. Thank you.
Okay, how long do you need?
It's hard to say. Depends on the performer.
Okay.
Checked. We have contact.
Checked.
1000 feet is set here. We'll continue the descent.
VNAV out.
Bravo Romeo,
VNAV out.
1014,
Check.
Seiko Alpha et Sierra Bravo ensuite.
You see the field over there?
Yes.
Flight level change.
Thrust flight change.
Juliet Charlie, we are fully ready.
Okay, 28 Juliet Charlie, line up
Thrust flight
runway
change,
22 left, you're clear takeoff, wind 230 degrees, 11 knots.
Clear to line up and take off runway 22 left. Silva, 28 Juliet Charlie.
When we have 1000, then you can set 3000.
Check.
First to the right, 1217, goodbye, BS 751. This
223 will be the final heading.
Check. So it has speed and alt.
Yeah.
That's it. 3000 feet.
223 is the final, and 3000 is the go-around. And we do have field inside.
Check.
Fox Hotel Mike Jet Echo, affiché 5401 au transpondeur.
5401, Fox Jet Echo. Bonjour, 47, Fox Kilo, Golf Unité, 22 droite.
Okay, I'm disconnecting. Autopilot.
Maintenez avant la 22 gauche, rapidement.
On traverse rapidement 22 droite, on
Flight
va
director.
la 22 gauche,
Check.
Fox Kilo, on rappelle vrai.
Psycho 2, pardon, tu peux traverser la 22 droite, rappel dégagé. Pas de soucis, je vais à la 22 droite, rappel dégagé, Psycho 2.
I see 2 reds, 2 whites.
Good. And Recycle the flight directors.
Recycle flight directors. Check.
6 Lima Kilo, you're clear to land, 22 right, wind 220 degrees, 13 knots.
Clear to land, to right, Norwegian 6
Clear to land.
Very nice. 2 rest, 2 whites. Clear to land. Cabin crew seated. Landing check is completed.
Thank you.
Tower bonjour with quadruple 3, established final radio.
Station going?
It's with 3333.
With
500, stabilized.
Check.
Contact. Right, wind 230 degrees, 13 knots. Depart, preceding traffic, 5 miles ahead, has 130 knots surface speed.
Okay, with 3333.
Select auto brake 3.
Auto brake 3.
Thank you.
Set.
Alright.
Check.
Et on est prêt pour un route 60 kg.
Monsieur, alignez-vous, piste 22 gauche.
C'est une zone de gauche 60 kg.
50, 30, 20, 10.
Speed brakes up. 2 reverses.
Silver House 2 AUS Charlie, contact Nice departure 130, decimal 825.
Manual braking.
Checked. 80 knots.
Idle. Timing.
North Shuttle 6 Lima Kilo, first right Charlie 1, contact the ground 1217, bye-bye.
First one, Charlie 1, 117, today, Norwegian 6 Lima Kilo.
First right. Confirm. First right.
Charlie 1.
Yeah. So Charlie 1 is here. Right side is clear.
Posez mise en route approuvée, enfin 61 km.
Ground bonjour, Norwegian 6 Lima Kilo, just making Charlie 1.
Bonjour 6 Lima Kilo, first right on uniform, then Foxtrot, turn 10 Bravo.
10 Bravo.
First on uniform, then Foxtrot, and parking 10 Bravo, Norwegian 6 Lima Kilo.
I think this is 10 Bravo.
Yeah, the dotted one there, and he goes in on that one, over there.
What do they want, straight?
No, that one over there. Just because he wants you to follow there, I think.
Crosswind behind the tailpipe, which is not good.
Okay, welcome everyone. We have finally approached Nice. We did have a Nissar arrival, and then we got a VOR 2 to right Bravo arrival with a visual segment as well, which you saw in the video. We were stabilized. When we are doing visual approaches, 500 feet is a requirement, and by 500 feet means we need to be fully configured for the landing and have the correct approach speed, which we did. So finally we are safe and sound in this, and you are welcome back next time. Bye bye.
Awesome approach.
Thank you. So let's start with the star, the arrival. I'll explain the arrival first. Then I will explain which type of approach we did, instrument approach, which later on was converted over to visual approach, and then ending up with a visual landing. So let's start with the star. The star, which we were cleared for NIS today, was called Nisar 6 Romeo. That was page 10-2 alpha on the Jeppesen approach plates. Basically what we did, we passed Nisar, and if I zoom in a little bit, as you can see that Nisar have a constraint saying at or below flight level 340, which means that we have to pass this position either at flight level 340 or below. Next position is called X-ray India Romeo Bravo India, which also have a constraint saying between flight level 320 and 200. What we do during the approach briefing, we do go through each single constraint and cross-check that with our FMC to see if we are meeting the constraints. Since the autopilot is going to fly this approach, we are very much dependent on that the FMC is programmed correctly. As you see here, from position X-ray India Romeo Bravo India, the arrival splits in two. One is called Nisar 6 Sierra, the other one is called Nisar 6 Romeo. We were cleared for Nisar 6 Romeo. During this approach, what happened was that already close to position Nisar, we got cleared directly to position Vedic, and then we got a further shortcut direct to position Typic. What happens then is that these constraints are deleted, and then we are aiming for the next constraint, which was Typic, flight level, it says at flight level 120, maximum speed 250, which means that we have to be at flight level 120, but I can have lower speed, but maximum 250. From Typic, we got cleared straight to Mike Uniform Sierra, and that is our initial approach fix for this approach, which means that we are expecting vectors from Mike Uniform Sierra by the ATC. And we did get vectors, and those vectors were initially further south of Mike Uniform Sierra. So since we were now on vectors, we will be leaving our arrival plate for Nisar 6 Romeo, and we will move over to the approach plate. And in this, we do have two approach plates for each type of approach. The first part is the instrument part. As you see here, VOR Bravo runway 22 right was the one we was cleared for today. But then, this is the instrument part of it. Then we do have the visual segment part of it, which is here. The philosophy of these approach plates are quite simple. If I zoom in here, we can see that the initial fix of this approach starts from Batpo, and it ends up at misapproach point, which is called Mike Delta 268. If we do not go misapproach from this point and choose to continue, that's when, as you see here, the Mike Delta 268 point, where the instrument approach ends, from the same point the visual segment starts. And the visual segments are depicted on the chart with arrows. So basically, as pilots, what we do is that we set in the approach, and then we are actually confirms. Then we actually confirm that whatever is depicted on this approach plate is matching what we have in our FMC. So today we were cleared for a VOR Bravo runway 22 right, VOR Alpha Zulu Romeo had a frequency of 10965. We confirmed that in our nav red page. And then, as you see here, it says final approach course, refer to chart 13-2 Bravo, which was the visual segment chart I just showed you. Then it says procedure altitude at distance 12 from Alpha Zulu Romeo, maintain 3,000 feet. Minimum descent altitude is 1,500 on this approach, and this is a non-precision approach, so we do add 50 feet to it, which will make it to become 1,550 feet. Airport elevation is 12 feet, and we do have a MSA circle here. It says this MSA is based on November Charlie NDB at Nice, and November Charlie NDB is here. And the terrain, already by looking at this picture, we can see this quite high terrain to the north of the airport. But the MSA, what that says is that it says 10,700 feet to the north, 3,100 to the southwest, 3,000 feet on the southeast south segment. We came in from 10,700 segment, we continued to 3,100 segment, continued in towards 3,000 segment, and that is the segment, as you see here, 3,000 segment, that's where the arrival starts. But our vectors, we were vectored out into the ocean, or out towards the ocean, and then we came around, flew towards the east, then we turned westbound again over position Betpo. As you see here, Betpo down here are saying 3,000 feet platform altitude. Reaching position Fox Delta 268, we can descend down to our minimum descent altitude, which is 1,500 feet, but we descended down to 1,550 feet because we add 50 feet to the non-precision approach. Then, the important thing with this approach is that if we do a go-around at this misapproach point, if we do a missed approach at this missed approach point, we have to make, we need to make a left turn on radial 138 from Alpha Zulu Romeo and continue to distance 28 from Alpha Zulu Romeo, make a left turn to intercept the arc of 30 DME from Alpha Zulu Romeo, and hold over position Neras. And that holding is explained in the right corner here. Now, if we do not do a missed approach from this point, that's when we will continue to our visual segment, which is here. And as this visual segment is depicting, we are going to do this in a visual flight, descend down to 1,000 feet, and it's an information note here, maximum 180 knots. What we did, we got fully configured at this position with gear down, flaps 30 and approach speed, and we also informed the ATC that we are coming in with approach speed, which they were more than happy with. And basically what we did, as you will see on the video as well, that we came in here, descended down to 1,000 feet, we disconnected the autopilot, continued the rest of the maneuver visually, and lined up with runway 22 right and landed on runway 22 right. In this case, if we do a go around after the first missed approach point, after we have passed this one, and have to do a missed approach point after this, then the procedure is mentioned at the bottom of the plate. Says climb straight ahead up to 3,000 feet, then expect left turn on ATC clearance. So basically, if we did a go around, we would have gone straight on runway track, climbed up 3,000 feet, and would have been expecting some kind of vectors from the ATC. After landing in Nice, what happened was that we landed on runway 22 right, and we vacated from intersection Bravo 1. We made a right turn, and then we made a right turn on uniform and continued to our gate number 10 Alpha today. And that's where we parked and disembarked our passenger, and had a safe and sound flight. And that's about it.